WWDC 2025 just wrapped up, and wow. This wasn't your usual software update keynote. Apple came in swinging. It felt like one of those rare moments when they actually listened to what users have been asking for, and then dialed it up way past our expectations. From iOS 26 massive redesign, to true multitasking finally coming to the iPad, to Apple's big leap into AI with something they're calling Apple Intelligence, this event had everything. Whether you're using an iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, Apple TV, or even the Vision Pro, every single Apple platform is getting serious upgrades. So sit back, because I'm about to walk you through everything Apple just announced, in one go, with all the excitement and no unnecessary filler. Let's start where most people care the most, the iPhone. iOS 26 brings not just new features, but an entirely new design language Apple is calling liquid glass. Think soft gradients, fluid motion, and translucent UI elements that subtly react to light and movement. It doesn't just look cleaner, it feels alive. Icons are more customizable now, letting you apply translucent finishes. The lock screen dynamically adapts to your wallpaper, and there's a new Fresnel motion effect that gives your background a responsive depth when you tilt your phone. It's sleek, it's futuristic, and most importantly, it doesn't feel like a gimmick. But iOS 26 isn't just about looks, it's also smarter. Apple is finally getting serious about AI, but in a very Apple way. They're calling it Apple Intelligence, a blend of on-device processing and private cloud computation that makes your iPhone feel way more intelligent. Siri is finally useful again. You can now ask follow-up questions, interact with screenshots, summarize long messages, and even request Siri to perform actions across multiple apps. And here's the kicker, if your request needs more power, Siri will tap into ChatGPT. Yes, OpenAI's ChatGPT is now integrated directly into iOS, but with Apple's privacy controls. You'll be asked before anything leaves your device, and everything stays end-to-end encrypted. It's like Siri went from being a C student to suddenly graduating with honors. Messages is getting an upgrade too. You can now create polls in group chats, see group typing indicators, and even generate custom chat backgrounds using AI. There's also live translation built right into the phone and messages apps. Imagine talking to someone in Spanish while you're speaking English, and both of you hearing your own language in real time. That's not just futuristic, that's game-changing. The control center's been redesigned too. It's cleaner, easier to customize, and adapts based on the context. If you're playing music or casting something to your Apple TV, the relevant controls are right there, no more digging. And notifications? They now roll in more smoothly, with better grouping and smarter prioritization. And just when you thought it was only about iPhones, Apple dropped a bombshell on iPad users. iPadOS 26 is finally giving us the multitasking experience we've all been waiting for. There's now a full windowing system. Yes, you heard that right. You can drag, resize, and layer windows just like on a Mac. You even get close, minimize, and full screen buttons. There's a new tile mode too, where apps automatically snap side by side with satisfying fluidity. It finally feels like the iPad is being allowed to grow up. Files app got a much-needed overhaul as well. You can now use list views, set default apps, compress files natively, and even access system folders with advanced permissions. And here's something every pro user will appreciate: background tasks. Rendering a 4K video in LumaFusion? No problem. Switch apps, keep working. The export continues in the background. And yes, Preview is finally here. You can sign PDFs, annotate images, and scan documents right on the iPad, just like you would on a Mac. Now speaking of the Mac, macOS 15 is officially called Sequoia. And while the name may sound gentle, the features are anything but. The liquid glass design carries over here too, with a refined dock, translucent menu bar, and sharper app corners. It feels like everything got a fresh coat of glass, but it's not just visual fluff. The new menu bar can now be customized with third-party widgets, and it auto-collapses when you're in full screen for that edge-to-edge immersion. Apple is also bringing real-time iPhone Live activities to the Mac. So your Uber ride, sports score, or delivery timer shows up at the top of your screen while you're working. And Spotlight search? It's now powered by Apple Intelligence. You can ask for files like, the spreadsheet Tom emailed me last Friday, or even more complex queries like, show me photos of my trip to Tokyo where I was wearing a red jacket. It's getting eerily good and genuinely useful. One of the biggest surprises, though, was the new native phone app on macOS. You can now make and receive iPhone calls directly from your Mac with full transcription, call screening, hold assist, and voicemail summaries, just like on your iPhone. And if you get put on hold, Apple's new hold feature waits for you, then notifies you the second a human picks up. No more listening to elevator music for 10 minutes straight. And this year, it wasn't just the main devices getting attention. CarPlay now supports the new design language, even on standard configurations, so you don't need a full-screen dashboard to get widgets or live navigation prompts. Apple Watch with watchOS 11 introduces a new AI-powered workout companion that gives you real-time motivation, music suggestions based on your pace, and more accurate training zones. You can even flick your wrist to dismiss notifications now, which sounds like a small thing but feels incredibly natural. tvOS got its own set of fun upgrades, including iPhone karaoke, where your phone becomes the mic, complete with real-time lyric syncing and vocal tuning. visionOS 2, on the other hand, is beginning to feel more mainstream. You can now place widgets in your physical environment, like putting the weather on your desk or a calendar on your wall. Photos taken with your iPhone can be re-rendered in 3D, and eye tracking is now accurate enough to let you scroll just by looking, no tapping needed. And look, we can't ignore the biggest underlying theme here. Apple is all in on AI. But unlike others, they're doing it their way. Privacy first, device integrated, and experience focused. Apple Intelligence isn't about throwing chatbots into everything, it's about making your devices feel more like an assistant than a tool. Whether that's generating a personalized emoji, summarizing a 5-paragraph email, or helping you write a professional-sounding reply, it just works. And when it doesn't, you've got ChatGPT built right in, ready to step in with more power. So, WWDC 2025 wasn't just a developer conference. It was a vision, a clear signal that Apple is evolving fast, with a foot in the future but an anchor in the ecosystem it spent decades building. This wasn't just catch-up. This was Apple showing that they're still the ones setting the tone, and maybe, just maybe, making your devices feel magical again. If this is what the software looks like, I can't even imagine what iPhone 17 is gonna bring in September. Do tell me in comment section what do you think about these upcoming features, and don't forget to like and subscribe for future updates.